Alright guys, so we're adding our amendments today so we can get our compost laid down and get some planting done. This is our main planting week, this week and next week, to get everything planted out. It's finally warm enough here in Michigan, so thought I'd take you along, show you what we're using for amendments, how we're laying it down, and how we're going to get planted. So here we go. Amendments we are using is kelp meal and alfalfa meal on everything. Then we've got some blood meal, some chicken manure pelleted, dried and pelleted, and some bone meal. That's all we are using for amendments, aside from our cow manure compost in bags mixed with our sphagnum peat moss and a little bit of wood ash. So that's what we're putting on our beds, and we will be filling the pathways with our wood chips. So that's how we're going to lay them out. Let's get it started. So my mixture is pretty simple. I'm using this mason jar. I'm doing about 2/3, a little over half with my alfalfa meal. And then I will fill the rest of it up with kelp meal. And that's what the first jar is for each bed. About 2/3 alfalfa meal, 1/3 kelp meal. You can see, super scientific. Then I'll mix in about 25% blood meal, about 25% chicken pellets, about 25%, well, take that back, probably about 1/3 of each in this mason jar. Bone meal, blood meal, chicken pellets in this mixture. One more bed. In this block of beds anyway. All right, so got all 8 beds amended with the initial amending for the beginning of the season. Now, once I plant this out, if I see one of the crops needs a little something more, then I'll do a foliar feed or something else, organic, of course, mid-season. But that's what I put on. So again, my mixture, when I'm using, well, whatever I'm using, I do about 2/3 alfalfa meal and about 1/3 kelp meal in one jar, and then I will do about 1/3 bone meal, 1/3 blood meal, and 1/3 pelleted chicken manure in the other mix. And I will put that on every bed at the beginning of the season and then amend as needed throughout. But it's pretty much that simple, guys. And this mix might not be what is right for your situation. So again, I'm no expert. This is just what I do on my little market garden farm here. So it may work for you and it may not. You're just gonna have to adjust to your soil as needed. Again, it's all contextual based on where you live. But this is what works for me and this is how we get it done. We try to keep everything as natural and organic as possible around here. We don't use anything synthetic fertilizers, weed killers, or bug sprays. So now if you're wondering where we get our supply, we buy it by the 40 or 50 pound bags, actually from our local feed mill. If you're fortunate enough to still have a feed mill in your town, I would definitely check with them. They will probably have kelp meal and alfalfa meal and blood meal and bone meal in larger quantities at a much better price than you're going to find at Lowe's or Home Depot. You can also find them online. Again, you may pay a little bit more. So if you can, if you're in a rural area, I would definitely check with a local feed mill in a nearby city or town, or check with your local Amish supply if there is one, because they'll carry it as well. But that would be my tip for today, and that's how we get our beds amended around here. I'll show you what the bags look like, and I got to get planting. So this is what we're using, guys. This is what our bag of kelp meal looks like, our bone meal. You can get this alfalfa meal online. I know for sure it's down to earth, but I actually got a 50-pound bag for a much better price right from the feed mill. So this is my alfalfa meal, and then you've got your blood meal right there. Blood meal, alfalfa meal, kelp meal, pelleted chicken manure, and then your bone meal. So that's what we're using. Great organic fertilizers if you're trying to stay all natural. So hopefully that helps somebody out there, and just kind of taking you along, let you see how we get it done here. Doesn't mean it's right by any means, but it works for us. We'll see you guys on the next one.